It's Murphy Gray Hunter, and it is Monday, September 23rd. Ooh, first day of fall, autumn equinox. I'm so super excited. I got up, I'm like, yeah, fall's here. Ooh, ooh. Then I stepped outside to feed the cats outside. And the sun hit me and said, honey, it is fall for everybody else but you. You live in Texas, so you are going to still be hot for probably till November when we start actually feeling some coolness. But at least the temperature starts to go down a little bit from like Africa hot to just like, hot. So we are in the witchy room, the lady lair, the witch's lair. See? I'm sitting right in front of the window where I love to get all this natural light in. My Tatanka. Oh, thank the Lord. The sun just went down. I mean, got covered by a big juicy cloud. I said, honey, let me help you out. Okay. Alrighty. I've been busy this morning doing my wife duties, my mother duties, and so I've been running around and I'm looking like a hot mess. Look at these bangs. What do I do with them? Do I cut them? Do I let them grow? Do I tape them? What? They're getting too long. Anyway, whatever. So I'm going to be doing more witchy videos. Like I told you guys, I'm super, super excited to be doing witchy videos more. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to be making a few videos. I'm going to show you how to make this powder. I'm going to give you the ingredients to some of my oils in another video, because like for example, this one is my success oil, and I already made, look how much I have, so I'm definitely not gonna make more. So I'll just show you what I put in here and what each ingredient is for. My 50 Shade Me oil, my hexane oil, same thing. And then I have some other witchy videos I'm gonna be doing, so I'm super excited for that. So let's get started with this one. And yeah, so my videos I'm gonna be making them like one right after the other, so the date will all be the same. It'll be the same, but so tomorrow you'll see me, same clothes, same everything, but it's just easier for me to do it this way, so I can do a video every day, because the next 3 days I have homeschool, and after homeschool I gotta run downstairs and start making dinner, and everything's just kind of chaotic, and I really like making videos, so today is a day that I can do multiple videos, so it's just easier like this for me. All right, so this one is this powder I'm going to show you. It's a clientele powder. That's what I call it, clientele powder. To call clients, to draw clients, to attract clients, paying clients. So draw paying customers. This is what this powder is for. You can, if you make this for yourself, you can call it whatever you want. But bitch, gotta get paid powder. How about that? This works for any type of business you have. Storefront, Etsy, whatever it is that you are selling and you get money for, you can use this powder for. So first we're going to start with our mortar and pestle. I'm using this, oh God, Molcajete. I don't know. I know y'all like, ooh, Murphy, no, just don't do it. I can see it in my head, but I can't pronounce it. Molcajete. Maybe that's what you say it. I don't know, but in my world, that's how I say it. And so it's just made out of stone. I know you've probably seen these at a lot of Latin stores. It's made out of stone. It's heavy. It's like a weapon, and they sell them in all different sizes. This is a cute little small one. I like using this one because it's very handy for me to do, but they sell this great big one, and I really do want to get that big one. It's only $14.99. This cost me $4.99. It's so cute, and I use it so much. I love it. All right, so we're going to start with this, and I'm going to show you the ingredients, but as I'm putting them, I'm going to tell you what they're used for and why I'm using it in this. So the first thing I'm going to be using is allspice, some allspice berries, some powdered cinnamon. Sorry, the sun is kicking. Powdered cinnamon. Then I'm using some ginger, powdered ginger. Then I'm using some magnetic sand, or you can use steel dust or lodestone, which is lodestone food. I mean, because some people call it steel dust, some people call it magnetic sand or lodestone. And then I'm using some red brick dust. This one I purchased from Lucky Mojos. I do make my own. In fact, I need to make more. But I don't know if I'm going to use my husband's drill, or I'm going to go to like a Goodwill or to a pawn shop and buy a really cheap drill and use that, because I use a drill to make my powder. And I'm going to use Vertivert. And what else am I using? Grains of Paradise. Some Dragon's Blood resin. And some dried orange peels. All right. Okay. And then I have some spoons. You can use a special little handy dandy spoon like this. This was gifted to me. It's so cute. Or you can use something like this. This one I got when I went to, I think TJ Maxx or Ross, and they sold it with like tea. And it's perfect. The reason why I like using little spoons like this is because you don't need a lot of ingredients. Unless you're making a huge batch, then use a bigger spoon. But for me, I just make enough for whatever I'm going to be using, like for the next few, you know, like maybe like a small amount, like this type of amount. Right? I make them in small batches like this. But, so I like to have a spoon so I can get equal amounts of everything. Because that's how I use equal amounts of everything. Unless, again, if it's something, you know, that I feel needs more or less of. All right, so let's go ahead and start with our Dragon's Blood resin, since that one we have to powder. And I like to use Dragon's Blood resin. Dragon's Blood resin, of course, has lots of uses that you can use. Dragon's Blood resin. This is resin, dried resin from a dragon fruit tree. It's a sap, you know, like on a dragon's fruit tree, and it has like sap and comes out. Well, this is what they get this from, in case y'all didn't know. A bag of this goes a long way. I've had this bag for a while, and I mean, I have a few good pieces in there. It really does, and a small amount goes such a long way. But I'm using Dragon's Blood resin because in this case, Dragon's Blood resin packs a powerful punch. So anything that in this case, like I said, and again, this is all in my opinion. This is what I use. And if you feel like Dragon's Blood resin is not good for this, well, if you should make your own Bitch Gotta Get Paid powder, then you do whatever you want to do. But for me, Dragon's Blood gives your spell word. Again, considering what it is that you're making it for, I'm using it to give it extra punch. It just makes it a little more powerful. And we definitely want some power in this powder, because I need this to work. Okay, do you see how easy it is? It's so satisfying too. One, to break the Dragon's Blood resin because it's so easily powdered, but also too, in this stone, whoa, look at all that. In this stone, help me, mortar and pestle, it's so great. Okay, so that's powdered. So when you're making a powder, I suggest that you powder all the things that are hard first. You know, because powdered stuff's already powdered, so it's just a matter of incorporating it together. So I'm gonna do all the stuff that's chunky. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna do is allspice. Allspice berries. Now, whether you have powder, you can use powder if you have powder, but I just have the berries. And allspice berries are really good for good luck in business, and it's good luck in gambling. Let's see. So if you are, I'm going to use 2 teaspoons. Okay. if you were to make a mojo bag and you wanted to, you know, you wanted good luck, good fortune, I would put some of these little allspice berries in there. All right, let's go ahead and pulverize these. Get in there, everybody in the pool. Okay, that little one was trying to escape. Oh, these are harder. Gotta beat them. Beat them like they owe you money. Oh, they smell good. Smells like Christmas. Smells good. Guys, I'm not ready for the holidays. I am not. Now, again, depending on how smooth you want this for me, my powders, I like my powders kind of chunky because I like to see the little bits in it, especially if I'm rolling my candles in it. But again, you can make them as fine or as chunky as you want. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. Next, see, do we have anything else we gotta squish up in there? Grains of Paradise. Grains of Paradise. Grains of Paradise are also very good for money. You can use Grains of Paradise for love. You can use it for lust. You can use it for luck, and you can use it in money spells. You can put it in powders, sachets, or sachets. You can put it in oils. So yes, they're very good. And they're also good with health. It says here, Grains of Paradise are also used by people on certain diets, such as raw food diets, because they are less irritating to digest than black pepper. So again, two tablespoons, or this spoon. They smell kind of like, not peppery, but kind of like savory. Should I taste one? No, let's not do that. Okay, but yes, in my case, I've always used Grains of Paradise for money. In any type of money spell I've done, whether it's like a sachet or a sachet, or mostly a lot of my mojo bags. When I make money mojo bags, I always use Grains of Paradise. And again, you don't need to use a lot. A little bit goes a long way. And actually, in a lot of this, I could have just used one spoonful of Grains of Paradise and the little berries. But what I'm going to do is, because it makes a lot, I'm going to put in an extra little piece of dragon's blood resin and make it a little bit more, because that way everything's all balanced out. Now, if you want to make this, like if you want to specialize this for yourself, then you can add a personal tag in here. Like for example, when I made, I'm smashing up that dragon's blood. When I made this success oil, this success powder here for my husband, for Derek, I made this so I can use this for any type of road opening candles, or any type of spells that I'm doing for road opening, or for jobs, or anything for success for him. I went ahead and personalized this. I put his fingernails in here. And he was clipping his fingernails. I took the fingernails and then I put them in here and I smashed the hell out of them. And then I added everything else in there. So this is just for him. This is Success Dry Mix for Derek. So I'll only use that for him. But if you get in here, I said, everybody in the pool, get in there. If you're trying to make this for someone, and this is a continuing, And the reason why I did that for Derek is because, you know, he's trying to find the right job for him. And so I made it a lot because I want to make sure that, you know, he's getting all the success that he wants, needs, and deserves. So I specialized it for him. But this one I'm not going to specialize for myself, even though I'm going to use this for myself. But in case I do a spell for someone, because I've opened up my business now, guys. If y'all are on my Facebook, y'all have seen I started my business called The Town Witch. And that is a public page. It's a group page called The Town Witch. And I have another Facebook page under Grey Hunter, Grey. And on there, I'm posting like all my YouTube videos and everything that has to do with, you know, like my products, things that I'm making, just for the town stuff that I'm gonna be doing for my business. I'm offering card readings like Oracle. I love Oracle. I'm more specialized in Oracle than Tarot. Oracle card readings. I'm going to be doing cleansings for on people or in your homes or your vehicles, whatever you need cleansing done. And I'm also going to be doing spell work. So if somebody wants some spell work done, or consultation, like if someone says, hey, I really need some consultation on how to do all this spell work, like they want to do their own spell work but they don't know how to do it, then I will do consultation. And depending on how much you want to know, it's depending on what I will charge. And then I'm going to be doing, I put on there in all sorts of mischief. Anything you want. Anything, like, not like that, gutter people. Magical wise. Like if someone says, oh, I need a hex, I need a, you know, I need this, I need a healing, I need a love spell, I need protection. I'm the Town Witch. Do I have boundaries on what I do? Of course I do. Don't sit here and start placing judgment. Of course I do. All right. So I put some more dragon's blood in there. So now it's equal amounts of everything. Okay, so the next thing. So we put allspice dragon's blood. We use grains of paradise. Let's go ahead and put some ginger. I like using ginger because ginger is another one that gives your spells a powerful punch. It gives it a fiery punch because, you know, ginger is spicy. That's a spicy meatball. It's spicy and it gives it that fiery punch that you want for your spell work. And it also heats up your spell work. So if whatever it is that you're doing and you want some heat applied to it, put some ginger. And I'm just putting 2 of those. You can buy some like from the dollar store. That's what I use. If you have ginger, like the fresh ginger, I would suggest go ahead and grating some up, cutting it up or grating it up and setting it out so it can dry, so you can put it in there. Because if you mix a wet ingredient into your dry ingredient, it's going to get pasty, and then you're going to have to lay it out and you're going to have to let it dry. So try to use all dry ingredients so you can make a nice powder, so you can go ahead and, you know, store it nicely. Now, when you're putting your ingredients in here, you can enchant after each one. If you want, like say I put my ginger, then I'm enchanting in there. Then I put this one up. You can do that. Or when you put all of your ingredients into it together, then you can enchant afterwards. And that's what I do, depending on what it is. All right, the next one we're gonna use is Vetiver. Vetiver is really good for money. So just use, just like a good little pinch. Why do I have to make mess? Ugh. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's got so many other usage that you can use it for, but again, I'm gearing this towards money. Oh, making a mess. I normally do this on top of a paper plate. I set this on top of a paper plate, so if I make any mess, it falls onto the plate. But I forgot to bring the plate up. Okay. And then I'm going to use powdered cinnamon. Powdered cinnamon is good to help bring good fortune in a business. Of course, you know, cinnamon has a lot of other great usage, but again, in this case, 2 spoonfuls. Ooh, that smells so good. So yes, it brings in good fortune in business. So I definitely want that. And it also too, because it's fiery spice, it also helps to bring in that packs a punch in your spells. That's why a lot of people use them in love spells or in lust spells, because they want that punch. All right, then I'm gonna use some some red brick dust. And help, oh, I can't even speak here. Ooh, red brick dust helps to draw in money. Of course, you can use the red brick dust for protection. There's a lot of other uses that you can use this for, but again, I'm using this to help bring in money. And if you don't have all these ingredients, you don't have to use these ingredients. This is just what I use. This is what I use. This is what I have on hand, and that's why I'm using it. So if you have 3 of the ingredients that I said, you can use those 3 ingredients. And in this one, I'm only going to use one little spoonful. If you don't have all these ingredients, you don't have to go trying to find them. You can either substitute, or you can, just use what you have. Make the spell work for you. Tweak it up. You can tweak it up. You can tweak it down. You can use some of these things in here that I use them as ideas to make your own. You don't have to do what I'm doing. But this works for me. I've done this before, and it works really well. I've done this spell for other people who have businesses, and they wanted more clientele. They wanted to invite more clientele to their business, and so I made this, and I make a few other ones. And like I said, I will be doing different videos showing you guys different recipes. So we're gonna use some lodestone food. This is just like a magnetic sand. So when you go get your lodestones, make sure you get some of the food, or you can buy it separately. And that one I'm only using one big heaping spoonful of that. Okay, I'm gonna show you what all this looks like in a minute. I'm gonna need a bigger container to keep this in. Okay, and the last thing I'm gonna use is dried orange peels. Now the reason why I'm using dried orange peels is because orange peels, or just orange, in general, is good for like happiness, good fortune, new beginnings. Ooh, it smells so good. And so that's what I want. When I'm attracting customers, I want happy customers. Please don't bring me anybody who I'm going to have problems with. I don't want drama. I don't want problems. I don't want sour people. Can't we just be friends? And I also want I want new beginnings, and I want good fortune. And so I'm putting dried orange peels for that. These are the ones that I made myself. If you'll follow me on my Instagram or any of the other ones, because I love to eat oranges. So before I cut them up to eat them for myself, I go ahead and get a peeler, and I peel all of them, lay them out on a paper towel on my my formal dining table, and I just let it dry for a couple of days, 2-3 days. Let it sit there. Or if I'm using some oranges to put on my Ganesh altar, before I cut them up, I'll just peel them. Or if I put a whole orange on there, once I change his offering, I'll use the orange to peel it. Then I throw the rest out there in the garden for the bees and the butterflies. So everybody's happy. All right. So here is my mixture. It smells really good. You would think it looks and like smells like hay, but it doesn't because of that Vertivert. Okay. So I'm just gonna smash this a little bit. Smells really good. Smells the smell of allspice and cinnamon and orange smells really good. Okay, so before I store this, I'm going to go ahead and enchant over this. I'm going to put my prayer over this. I'm going to just basically put my hands over it. I'm going to put all my intentions into it. I'm going to visualize everything it is that I want this powder to do. And I'm going to visualize it as it's in my head, and then I'm going to visualize coming down through my arms, down through my elbows, into my hands, into my mixture. And I'll sit here and do that until I feel I've put enough of my energy and intentions into this powder. Then I'll go ahead and store it. And it's good to use right away. The way that I'm going to use this is I'm going to, you can use a 7-day glass candle because I'm going to be doing a spell for myself. And I'll probably be showing you guys how to do that as well. So let's just say, I'm going to use this one. I'm going to go ahead and make holes in it. And then I'm going to put some of that powder in here. And then I'm going to put some of my success oil that I made in here as well. And then I'm going to sprinkle some of this around the plate. And I'll do a video showing y'all what I'm talking about. But you can definitely use this powder in little mojo bags or sachet bags. I don't know if it's the correct way is sachet or sachet. But I've heard people say sachet, I heard people say sachet. So I don't know. Target, I don't know. But definitely I'm going to go ahead and you can put some of this in a bag and keep it close to your cash register or where you do your workings. Or in my case, since I wanted to draw in customers, I'm going to go ahead and put this, do my spell and put a little bit of this in a mojo bag that I'm going to make to help draw clients. And I'll put some of that in there and I'll lay it on top of my appointment book. Because like I said, I don't have a cash register. If you had a cash register, you can definitely put some in a little mojo bag or a little sachet bag and put it in your cash register. Or you can roll your candles in. If you have like a long votive candle, go ahead and put some of this like on a paper plate and then just get your candle and put your oil on it. Whether you are a person who is drawing in, if this is how you feel, like you rub the oil down to draw in. Some people feel you go up. It's whatever you choose. But I would put the oil down because I want to bring customers to me. And then I would just put some of this mixture on a paper plate. And then I would just roll my candle in it. Roll it. Or you can do it like this and sprinkle the stuff on it, however you want to do. And then, light your candle with your, petition, your intentions. But there's so many different ways that you can use herbal mixtures. You can also burn this on top of a charcoal disc. But because this is really chunky with the Vertivert being like kind of like hay and the orange peels and the magnetic sand, I would not do that with this. But you definitely, it's just because you would have to watch it because it's big pieces. Not so much with the lodestone food, but with the other stuff. But you could, like if you did it in a deep enough cauldron, you definitely could. Also, a little tip I wanted to give you guys. If you'll ever have to burn something to put in, like say I wanted to, say with this Vertivert, let's just say that I did not want to use this like this. I didn't want to use it as whole pieces like this because it looks kind of like hay. I don't want these big pieces. I want to use it like an ash, like a powder. Same with my orange peels. You can definitely use these little tins that you have here and burn stuff in it. Put it on something that's fireproof though. Like put it like on a fireproof plate or something. And then just light it. And then let it get, because this is an empty where I had a tea light candle. Just make sure you get all of that wax off. Anyway, you definitely could melt something in these and then let it cool, and then once it's all ash, put it in there. I'm saying this if you only have one, you know, little thing. If you don't have like this, like if you have like a little cauldron like this, you can definitely put this. You can put anything that is chunky and you want to make it into an ash, so you can put it into, just burn it in here. Put a charcoal disc in there, or you can just put it in there like that, because it will definitely catch fire, and just let it burn down to an ash. That's what I do when I burn certain things that I need and I don't like it chunky. But in this case, chunk is good. Chunk is good. All right, guys, that is my recipe for my clientele powder, and I hope y'all like it. I hope y'all decide to make it, because it really, really, really does work. I've had great success with this, and it's super easy. All right, guys, thanks for watching. As always, love y'all, and blessed be. Bye.